Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinlife.com and you're joining me on board good old Narrowboat Tilly, and we're about to take an absolutely amazing trip down a beautiful stretch of canal on a perfect sunny day. All of my favourite things. This is an amazing stretch of the Llangollen Canal just on the outskirts of Whitchurch. If you're interested, look that up on Google Maps if you're very interested indeed. So yeah. Let's generally have a chit-chat and just enjoy the view and the scenery. Now, as I always say about the Llangollen Canal, it's really rural and full of these sorts of beautiful scenes, both on the canal itself and then whenever you look off the canal, you're normally surrounded by fields and farmland, a few cows here, maybe a few sheep, and even, in a rare case, a few horses too. Anyway, what's been going on in life? Let's have a few general bits of chitter-chatter in the background while we take our slow trip down the canal. Right, I suppose, really, as you can see from this video, the first thing that we've got to talk about is the amazing weather. It's been another one of those random things where it looked like summer was over and everything was lost and doom and gloom was here for the rest of the winter to see us into the winter. And then suddenly, as usual with the British summer and weather in general, we've randomly had a few amazing days like this, just planted straight into the middle of what was looking like the end of the summer and start of the autumn in its proper earnest, let's see the leaves fall off the trees and the rain fall out of the sky sort of way. But once you've got this sort of weather back and you know it's going to be around for a few days, I've been able to get out in the kayak a lot more. I've been, well, as you can imagine, I've been moored up on the boat. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how far away it is in actual terms of biking back into Oswestry where I work. But I have been biking all over the place. As some of you will know that I have a little fixie bike, so it's not the easiest bike to do long distance in the world with no gears and not being able to stop pedalling, and I did eventually have to change it over onto just a normal freewheel single speed, so I could actually rest my legs going down the few hills that were in my way. And it's something that once, like as I say, once you've got this weather, the perfect narrowboat life and traditional stereotypical view of these sorts of boat trips, and then me with my walking and biking obsession, all starts to fit together, and it's been an absolutely lovely time. There's been chaos and that going on in my life in other areas, but luckily the weather, the canal and general boating conditions have all perfectly formed up, especially as there's a lot less traffic on the canal now that the main summer holidays are over. So it's been nice and peaceful, and there's been some amazing spots to stop and moor up, and you're finally starting to be able to actually sleep through until after 8 AM in the morning without being woken up by boats going past. So that's always a promising start to the quiet time of the canal. So really, I've just been embracing that and taking it slow myself. Of course, with these massive distances, I've been getting on my bike off the boat and not putting my foot on the ground for well over 2 hours until I finally get back into town or get to my friends' houses. And it's one of them things, once you start to put those sort of distances in and you know that you can't rush, this is what I always say, that once you're in a position where you can't rush, such as the boat, you can't really travel fast on a boat, plus the engine might blow up on Tilly at any given moment, as some of you are aware. So that forces you to slow down, at which point it's then, well, we can't go fast, let's just enjoy it. And on a day like this was filmed, what more could you want? Why would you want to rush an experience like this? Equally, when I was out wandering up and down the towpath and just really enjoying wandering up through the fields and then finding a country lane to lead me back to the canal, and then going into Whitchurch to, as you may have seen in my recently uploaded unexpected walk and dinner by a canal bridge video, just taking a random walk down the towpath and heading up into Whitchurch, going to the little local independent bakery, because there is actually one still about there, and getting a couple of caramel slices, pasty, walk back down the towpath, sit under a bridge and eat. Absolutely lovely stuff. And these are the experiences day to day that I'm trying to catch more of in my videos, with the shorter 2 to 5 minute videos. I still want to try and get 2-minute videos done, where I can literally go, so here's a moment from boat life, and it is actually just that moment, rather than me doing commentary videos or showing you loads of stuff. Because as much as I love doing the general clip videos, I think that what I really want to show more and more of now is these momentary things that, well, you can't sum up and you can't talk about without actual footage to show and say, well, this is what happened today. I mean, for example, last night I've spun the boat round since filming this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm a long way from Ellesmere itself, nearly an hour's walk, but I still walked down the towpath and went past Blakemere, and there was the proper sunset just coming to a close, with a little bit of light and a little bit of colour still in the sky, but it was really proper twilight setting in. And as I'm walking down the towpath, it was all misty, and you have mist rising up from the canal, and then Blakemere, which is just a huge lake right next to the canal on the outskirts of Ellesmere. As I was walking past there was an owl up in the tree. There was another owl that you could hear it replying to the calls way off in the distance. And there's all this mist rising off not only the canal, but also the actual lake itself. So when you look across, and you can see just about the edging of all the trees at the far side of the lake, and that reflected through the mist in the lake itself. And you got owls as your only noise, and maybe a distant generator on a boat somewhere. It's just those moments that it's very difficult to capture, and it's very difficult to tell you about or talk about, and actually put across just how brilliant it is, and just why I love all this boat life stuff and what it's allowed me to do. And it's certainly been something that I've appreciated in this recent weather, and mooring up a long way out, so I've been spending less time going to my friends and that, for example, and having that time alone in somewhere like this, where nobody knows you, there's no expectations, so you just talk and shout hello to passing boaters. I've stopped and had a good few conversations with holiday boaters. Had somebody go past while I was out on the kayak and shout hello and take a picture and talk about YouTube, so hello, thank you very much. That's always something that I'm very amused and bemused by, but it's nice, I suppose. Yeah, so really, that's been my general time, and I just wanted to share this footage with you, because it's just, this is the absolute perfect demonstration of how brilliant travelling on the boat can be. In this little trip, I'm not sure how far I travelled, maybe a couple of miles in total if I had the full clip, but I think I met 2 boats, one going through one of the lift bridges, which I will cut out of this video because I don't want to throw close-ups of their faces all over the internet, and equally another boat was travelling just down from the lift bridge. And those are the moments that you think, God, there is actually another person alive on the planet, and it's not just us out here in the middle of nowhere. Because as you can imagine, when you're just travelling down places like this, it starts to lull you into that sense of total calm and total peace, and there's nothing else in the world but this boat and the view in front of us. On a totally random note, if anybody is interested, I have been doing an awful lot of writing recently, a lot of writing, and I suppose that comes from having the nice calm environment and a lot of time to myself over the last over the last month really, I suppose. I've been stepping up my writing again, and I think I am actually finally, after a year ago I was definitely going to release my little poetry anthology. I think next month I am definitely actually going to. I've been rewriting parts of it because it's not just poems, it's a little bit of general story and a few words and just general summaries of the poems and little moments of life that go with them. So I've been changing the collection and adding them and removing them and writing and rewriting these little additional parts. So hopefully you'll enjoy that when that comes out. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Fingers crossed, I suppose. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I suppose we must be coming up to about 9 minutes now. So I'll say, I suppose, it's time to wrap things up. As usual, feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos for a ton of narrowboat videos. We're still just approaching that 200 narrowboat videos over on the channel, so subscribe and check all those out. Check out the documentary series episodes that I've been making as well. Feel free to add me personally on Facebook and Twitter if you so wish, for plenty of boaty pictures and general life updates from the canal too. And beyond that, also, feel free to check out my Narrowboat Life books. A Narrowboat and a Notebook is the latest one, and people seem to be enjoying that the most. But the Narrowboat Lad is the original one if you want to start at the beginning. Only £1.53 each for the Kindle and Kindle apps, so you can read it on your phone and your tablet and computer and goodness knows what else. I suppose on that note, I'll say thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Until the next time, keep it canal side, keep it boat worthy, and farewell.